Yeah, this is big right here. The Aztecs Sweet 16. I've been looking forward to this for years, and now they're finally here. They're playing number one Alabama. This is a tough assignment.
I will tell you, going into the Friday night game with Bama, something has really changed in college basketball. The national beat writers are writing about the matchups. The beat writers are writing about who's hot, like Alabama. The beat writers are writing about who's Cinderella. San Diego State is no longer viewed as a Cinderella team, which means San Diego State, quote, has arrived as a big boy. When they're talking Cinderella, they're talking Princeton, they're talking Florida Atlantic. They're not talking the red and black, which means San Diego State has now made that move. Thank you, Steve Fisher. Thank you, Brian Dutcher. Big storyline, Aztecs, Alabama, Friday night. Can they control Alabama's bigs? Aztecs have approximately 25 fouls to use from their bigs in that game, John. It's a huge challenge because they, outside of the time they played the University of Arizona in the Maui Invitational, they've not played anybody with this kind of bulk. They go 6'9", 6'10", 7 foot. They are huge, they're athletic, they're physical. They don't have a lot of depth on the front line. If Alabama got any of their guys in foul trouble, then maybe the chemistry of the game would change. But San Diego State, like I say, when you start with Nathan Menson, you go all the way down the board. They got approximately 25 fouls to use to try to control the bigs. So how are they going to handle the physicality of what's going on up front? How are they going to handle Brandon Miller? Maybe the player of the year in college basketball, averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds a game, 6'9" forward who runs the floor, plays above the rim, and shoots the lights out long distance. How are they going to handle Quinterly? Their young guard is averaging 9 points, 5 assists per game. He shoots the three. He runs the offense. If you got a great point guard in March Madness, you got a chance to go really deep. San Diego State. I mean, they've mugged people inside on offense. They've done the exact same thing, body bag people with the physicality on defense. Will the refs let them play that way? Because the refs have let them bang on Charleston and on Furman. I think it's an enormous challenge. San Diego State's calling card is their defense. Alabama's calling card is not only their offense, and they average 82 per game, but also their defense, because they're shutting the other guy down. They're beating the other guy up at the other end of the court. I just think it's going to be a heck of a game. Where is San Diego State's offense going to come from? Are they going to be able to get the ball in low for Mensah and Ledee and those guys to score? Are they going to be able to create and generate three-point shots on a consistent basis? Because that has not happened. Most of the season have been very erratic there. It's a phenomenal matchup. Can't wait to see the X's and O's. Are the refs going to let these guys play, or are we going to start having a parade to the free throw line because they're going to start calling fouls because the game gets so rugged inside between their bigs and all the red and black bigs?
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. And what an opportunity to play the number one team in the country, to say that they have arrived. I mean, imagine if they knock off Alabama. I mean, that would be tremendous. I have confidence in Dutcher and Dave Velasquez. They've got a defensive scheme to go after the Alabama's bigs. The worry I have, as you said, is our offense going to perform, because Alabama's defense is tough. I wanted to ask you, Hacksaw, what did you hear the comments from Nick Saban talking about, the Brandon Miller situation and condemning really the basketball program in Alabama for letting this guy keep playing?
Well, Nick Saban made these comments because he just suspended one of his top recruits who was involved in a 141-mile-an-hour chase with police, possession of marijuana, and a large amount of cash. Really bad story. He suspended him on the spot, and he kind of referenced the Brandon Miller situation, the fact that Alabama's basketball program and the athletic department did nothing to Brandon Miller when Miller was somewhat implicated in, quote, the delivery of a gun to Darius Miles, another player, who then gave the gun to a friend of his who killed a woman in an argument after an incident at a bar. My theory is the kid should have been removed from the program for an interim amount of time. Now, he was never charged. But if you're Brandon Miller and you got a phone call from your teammate Darius Miles who said, I need you to bring my car and a weapon. He gets in the car, delivers the car, and leaves. Does he not bear responsibility for delivering the weapon that Miles used to hand to his third friend who then committed the shooting? It's a huge issue. It's not been a distraction, Brandon Miller has answered the questions the best he can. The coaching staff said, yeah, maybe we should have looked at it a little bit differently, but we didn't. They let him play the entire season. That's why they're sitting there in the Sweet 16, maybe Final Four with the possible Player of the Year. Brandon Miller was removed from the John Wooden list. He will not be a finalist to be actually the College Player of the Year because of that situation. He's not been charged, but he, quote, was involved. And Nick Saban saying, you are what you are. There's no such thing as being in the wrong place, wrong time, because you made the decision to be in that place and in that situation. It is pretty strong stuff. I give Nick Saban a lot of credit for standing up. Other bad